If the UK is basically in a customs union or the customs union with the European Union, it won't be able to execute an independent trade policy. And that is one of the most important things that the UK can have out of Brexit. There will obviously be disruptions as we come out of the institutions of the European Union, such as the customs union and the single market. And therefore, it's really important for the UK to have the benefits of an independent trade policy, to be able to do trade deals with other countries, to be able to improve its own regulatory environment and improve its own environment. None of that will be possible from inside the customs union and the backstop arrangements. So for many in the UK, the backstop arrangements and the withdrawal agreement are the worst of all possible worlds. And actually, that's agreed by all sides really in the UK, which is why it was voted down by the House of Commons by a parliamentary majority of 230, which is bigger than anything in recorded history.
So the EU claims that without this guarantee from the backstop, the border between Ireland and Northern Ireland could end up a hard border, risking the violence to start again. You don't agree. How come?
No, I don't agree. It's very interesting that if we have no deal, if we actually don't agree this withdrawal agreement and we leave, all sides, the UK, Northern Ireland, the UK, the Republic of Ireland and the European Union have all said that there will be no hard border on the island of Ireland. And in fact, the European Union, Michel Barnier, has said that in that event of no deal, alternative arrangements would have to be found in order to make sure that we don't harden the border in the island of Ireland. It's important to note that it is not as if there is no border there now. There is a border for tax, there's a border for VAT, there's a border for lots of things on the island of Ireland. What our goal is to make sure that there's no physical infrastructure on the border, which is what everyone has committed to, deal or no deal, in fact, and that customs checks are pushed away from the border. And the problem is, by approaching things in the way that both sides have done so far, they are making the likelihood of no deal, no withdrawal agreement being concluded between them on March the 29th of this year much, much more likely and much, much more problematic.
Still, the EU side doesn't see it the way you do. The president, for instance, of the European Council, Donald Tusk, says that those opposing the backstop are actually gambling with peace. How do you view this rather harsh rhetoric?
Yes, so it was very harsh rhetoric, and I don't think it was actually very helpful. I think Mr. Tusk might regret some of those comments at this time. But actually, again, it comes down to this. What do we need to do in order to ensure that we don't put physical infrastructure on the Irish border in a permanent fashion, not just in some sort of temporary arrangement, but permanently? And the way you do that is you ensure that you push customs checks away from the border, you maximise things like trusted trader programmes and so forth. Both sides have to take a clear view of what the ultimate solution has to be. And I think that these alternative arrangements that are being discussed and proposed in the UK is the way forward. And that will, I think, enable us to have a deal by March the 29th of 2019.
Brexit-debattören Shanker Singham som jag talade med tidigare ikväll.